Hello, welcome to Don't Tread on Me, November 5th, 2009. Today we'll be discussing the Tennessee tax revolt. I was on YouTube News and I was watching one of the 10 first videos that pop up and automatically play, and one of them was some protesters on the side of the road with some signs. And somebody pulled up and started videotaping and asking them questions. And one of the dudes started talking about a Tennessee tax revolt. He said it happened in '99. There's very little fanfare about it. He's like, the internet was just getting started. And he's like, I searched the internet and can't find very much about it. 2 web pages, he said. So I decided to search myself, and I found WorldNet Daily article. I think it's entitled, "It Took a Tax Revolt to Stop It." No, it took a revolt to stop it, or something like that. Anyways, WorldNet Daily, January something 2000, describes a situation that in Tennessee they were wanting to make a state income tax, and apparently 2 of the talk show hosts started talking about it. I guess people called into the talk show host, got the talk show host talking about it from 2 different radio stations. They updated everybody every day on who was supporting it and who wasn't. Finally, they had a special meeting, I think, on Saturday to vote on it, and for a couple days up to that, people gathered around the Capitol building by the thousands. One dude even went driving around it 3 or 4 times in his Home Depot truck. He got fired. It was in the news. 20 people called him up and said, I got a job doubling your salary or whatnot. And anyways, basically what happened is, so many people came down there, screamed and stared at the representatives. Plus, a couple of the representatives got really heated in their blood temperature, put them in the emergency room. I mean, their blood, not temperature, the blood, temperature. Their blood pressure and stuff, put them in the hospital. And by the next day, people were out with signs saying, let's put them all in the ER. But anyways, here's a prime example of people and the power that they have. So please, I'll research a little harder. Now I went Google searching and I just put in something about vote on state income tax, and I came up with a USDA Today article and the Huffington Post talking about Massachusetts, I think it was 2008, was voting on to abolish the state income tax. We'll take a look into that and see what happened. Anyways, here's the WorldNet Daily article.
Tennessee's successful tax revolt. WorldNet Daily reported 2 weeks ago that family tax protests prompted by the legislature's attempt to sneak an income tax proposal through in a rare Saturday morning session caused support for the proposal to wither. Tennessee is one of 9 states without a state income tax. The protests included processions of foreign-honking cars circling the state capitol and citizens gathering outside legislative chambers to cheer legislators as they entered. The success of the 2-week tax revolt demonstrated the power in talk radio to mobilize the state income tax. 2 of Nashville's competing talk radio stations, WDN and WLSC, joined forces and served as a catalyst for opposition to the tax proposal. I have worked in such competitive radio markets before, and I have never seen 2 competing stations work so closely to identify and speak out against a common political threat. Daryl and Carlo, WDN's morning show host, told WorldNet Daily. Phil Valentine, WLSC's afternoon host, said that WorldNet Daily's coverage of the Tennessee tax data has prompted inquiries and radio interviews from stations across the country. I just did an interview with the Seattle radio station last night, and they wanted to know how we were able to work together because legislators in Washington state want to implement a state income tax as well. Valentine told WorldNet Daily. WorldNet Daily has made Tennessee's tax battle a national issue because taxpayers in other states know that if Tennessee falls, all the rest will follow like dominoes. But what is so amazing about what the citizens have been hearing the show that taxpayers can fight back and win. In retaliation for rallying opposition to the income tax, legislators proposed to talk radio tax that would slash broadcast companies with a 6% gross receipts tax, costing Tennessee radio stations $39.1 million next year alone. But after tax protesters rallied to the cause and the issue received attention from talk radio giant Rush Limbaugh and the Wall Street Journal, legislators dropped the idea. WorldNet Daily reported last week that one tax protester, Mark Cooper, was fired from his job at Home Depot after driving his delivery truck around the state capitol twice on a lunch break to protest the tax proposal. State employees, upset at having their pay raises reduced from 6% to 3.5% due to cuts in the governor's budget, began writing down protesters' license numbers and reported Cooper's activity to his supervisor. After his flight results, Cooper has since received more than 25 job offers, most of which are higher-paying positions. WorldNet Daily also reported earlier this week that the ongoing tax protests have prompted several pro-income tax legislators to lash out at constituents. Tower Great Sunquist's veto of the state budget was the first by a governor in Tennessee's history, but the House overrode the veto by a vote of 78 to 19 and the Senate by 20 to 9. According to the state constitution, only a simple majority is required in both houses to override the governor's veto. Subsequent to his veto defeat, Sunquist threatened to bring the measure up again later this year in a special session or in next year's budget negotiations. I've just begun to fight, he told reporters shortly after the legislature adjourned. Sunquist has been handed defeat in his efforts to implement the state income tax into regular sessions and 2 special legislative sessions over the past 15 months. Ironically, he campaigned in both 1994 and 1998 on a platform opposing the income tax and had warned legislators in his 1999 State of the State address.
Anyways, you want to hear more about that, you can go look it up. Alright, here's the Massachusetts from the USA Today.
Massive vote on abolishing income tax by Sherry Jones. Use of the day. Boston, a dueling barrage of bumper stickers, yard signs, and phone calls is raining down on the people of Massachusetts, giving the pros and cons of the ballot measure that would do away with the state's income tax. If voters approve question 1 on Tuesday, both sides agree its impact will reverberate from the state treasury to the bank accounts of the working class. Abolishing the income tax could strip the state of $12 billion or more, near nearly half its $28 billion budget, experts say. We've never seen a tax elimination that would have been effective, stated Gregory, the public policy professor at George Washington University. Only California's Proposition 13, a sweeping 1978 initiative that limited property taxes, came close, he says. You're looking at rebellion tax of public services. The initiative would cut the state income tax, currently at 5.3%, in half on January 1st, and eliminated a year later, allowing an average taxpayer to pocket an additional $3,700 a year, supporters say. That's money that workers can save, spend, invest, or give away as they see fit in their own communities, says Carl Howell, chairwoman of the Committee for Small Government, which backs the measure. Massachusetts would join 9 other states that have no income tax allowance: Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming, says the Tax Foundation, a nonpartisan group that monitors fiscal policy. Other states consider tax moves. Massachusetts may have the most sweeping anti-tax issue at stake next month, with voters in other states also weighing on taxes, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. North Dakota has a ballot measure that would cut most state income tax rates in half and reduce corporate income tax rates by 15%. Maine will ask residents whether they want to reject recent legislation that requires insurers to pay a surcharge on some claims, raises taxes for large producers of malt liquor and wine, and puts new taxes on soda. Oregon, which now allows up to $5,600 in federal income taxes to be deducted on state tax returns, has a measure to remove the cap. Arizona has an initiative that will prohibit new taxes on the sale or transfer of property. Massachusetts' ballot question comes at a time when the state's fiscal outlook already is bleak, officials say. Governor Deval Patrick says an estimated $1.4 billion gap in the state's budget this fiscal year will force cuts.
Alright. Now, I hear about a tax revolt, where they won't let them put a tax in, and it brings me, when I search, to a state income tax vote to remove it in Massachusetts. Snapple. It says it's made from all natural stuff, from the best stuff on earth. I'm not sure. I'm just pointing it out. This is their all natural tea. Hopefully, the label looks like it would be a non-toxic tea, non-toxic drink. No high fructose corn syrup or any of that nasty stuff. So, unless they're using genetically modified peaches and tea leaves, I might be good on that. Or if they have fluoride in the water, I'm not sure. It doesn't say any of that stuff, but it doesn't have to. I should have to say if it has fluoride or genetically modified. Anyways, that's off topic, but that just makes me scream. Alright, so I've come to the conclusion on this Massachusetts. It failed. I was reading some articles here. One's at the Boston.com, and the other one's at the Huffington Post. The Huffington Post has commenters who live in Massachusetts who are claiming that they spend money to pay the bus to take their kids back and forth to school. They pay money for their lunches. They pay money for each field trip. They pay money for each elective. They pay extra money for all this stuff, and they don't understand why they are, since they're paying these income taxes. Alright? So then that's the Massachusetts one. The one from the Huffington Post. Here's the one from the Boston.com, where it exclaims that they crushed the second attempt to get rid of the income tax. And here's a comment down at the bottom. God Almighty, what really burns my tail, you get these television ads that tell you we're going to lose this, that, and the other thing, said Fresecki, a 78-year-old retired aeronautical engineer. No one ever telling you that we've got corruption and spending on stuff we don't need in huge quantities. Yeah. Of course, those dudes don't want to lose that income tax because they're like spending like on everything they want to, and that would stop them. Anyways, remember, the power is in your hands. Although a state income tax or an income tax, I don't know about the state income tax, but an income tax to the federal government is illegal in the Constitution. It is not illegal for them to do so and apportion all the money. That means take money, count up the heads of everybody in the country, and then fairly distribute it. They do not do that with our income tax. They actually give it to the Federal Reserve, which deals it out to private banks. And the Federal Reserve is actually owned by private banks. Look it up. It's a private entity. Till next time, peace out. Remember, the power's in your hands. So remember to call, protest, and make yourself heard. If it's on a just cause, I promise you, more people will add to your voice.